Welcome back to the Bears Fantasy Football Report. I'm your host, and it's time to break down Week 2 in the league, see who rose, who fell, and then look ahead to Week 3 and what I expect to happen. From the scoreboard, here were some big numbers and matchups in Week 2. Aiden's Cookers improved to 2-0, beating Clankers with 117.82 to 90.38. Top performers for Aiden's Cookers this week: James Cook, running back, with 26.5 points. Tucker Kraft, tight end, with 24.4 points. Bajan Robinson also had a strong outing, around 19.8. Hooked on a Thielen also had a big game, posting 150 points versus first and goalie, 135.7. So that was a high-scoring affair. Their top players were Malik Neighbors for Hooked on a Thielen, and he dropped 37.7 points. Their running back, Jonathan Taylor, also scored big with 29.5. John's Jumpin' Jags beat Mama Bear's Big Leaguers, 135.4 to 108.0. Highlights for John's Jumpin' Jags: Rome Odunze exploded with 31.8. Mama Bears still got Lamar Jackson and CeeDee Lamb producing, but Jags just outgunned them this week. Sesame Street defeated Abraham's Assault on You, 135.84 to 109.64. Big stat lines here. Jamar Chase for Sesame Street had 36.5 points. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a monster game, 39.2, despite being on Abraham's Assault on You side. So, the storylines. Aiden's Cookers continue rolling. Hooked on a Thielen showed they're no slouch, especially with Neighbors stepping up. Jags are dangerous, and Abe's Assault on You is now 0-2, despite some good performances. They need more consistency and better output from some of their stars. What worked and what didn't. Depth and balanced scoring. Teams like Aiden's Cookers and Hooked on a Thielen didn't just get one star. They had multiple players delivering. That separates the winners from the rest. Explosive wide receivers and performs matter. Odunze, Neighbors, Jamar Chase. These are game changers. If your wide receiver 1 or 2 goes off, it can swing your matchup. Quarterback impact still huge, but needs help. Jackson and others are doing good things, yet their supporting cast sometimes can't keep up, like we saw with Mama Bear's loss. Week 3 predictions. Here are how I see things shaping up in Week 3 based on this week's matchups and form. Matchup: first and goalie versus Mama Bear's Big Leaguers next week. Mama Bear's Big Leaguers bounce back after the loss. Jackson, Lamb, and company will recover for any weak spots. Unless first and goalie gets big performances from the RB and wide receiver too, the Bears team has the edge. Clankers versus Hooked on a Thielen. Hooked on a Thielen rides the momentum. If Malik Neighbors could go off again, they could put up another big number. Clankers would need someone like a QB-RB combo to go off to stand a chance. Abraham's Assault on You versus John's Jumpin' Jags. Jags favored. Abraham's needs more than just one wide receiver or stable output. Needs someone to step up big time, maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown or whichever wide receiver. Unless their QBs or RBs explode, Jags take it. Sesame Street versus Aiden's Cookers. This is probably the marquee matchup of next week. Aiden's Cookers has looked steady and lethal. Sesame Street has shown flashes, Chase, etc. I expect Cookers to just edge them out. Tight game. Maybe 5 to 10 points difference. Leadership from Allen Bajan again. Power rankings after Week 2. Here's how I'd rank the 8 teams now. Aiden's Cookers, 2.0. 2 strong weeks, balanced attack, and dominating scoreboard. 2. Hooked on a Thielen, 1-1. The loss last week doesn't look bad. They just dropped a ton of points this week. Dangerous. 3. John's Jumpin' Jags, 1-1. If Odunze and the wide receiver group keep going, this team could climb fast. Sesame Street, 1-1. Strong win this week. Chase looks like an elite wide receiver. Just need more consistency everywhere else. Mama Bear's Big Leaguers, 1-1. Talent is there, but results uneven. Needs to tighten up on weeks where the wide receivers aren't clicking. First and goalie, 1-1. Close losses-wins ratio. In the thick of things, but hasn't shown the boom factor yet. Abraham's Assault on You, 0-2. Not out of it, but needs a big game to avoid going 0-3, and I rank them number 7. Clankers, 1-1, number 8. Win over a struggling opponent, but still lowest scoring of their wins. Unless someone on their roster emerges, tough sled ahead. Closing thoughts. Week 2 reinforced few truths. Stars matter, wide receivers who can go off are critical, and you need more than just one big name. For Week 3, matchups will be vital. If you're managing any of the mid-tier teams, now's when you start leaning heavier on favorable matchups, maybe streaming a wide receiver or a QB based on defense, and seeking trades or waiver pickups to fill weak spots. Thanks for tuning in to this Week 2 recap and Week 3 predictions of the Bears Fantasy Football League. I'll be back with more analysis, trade talk, and of course who's hot and who's not heading into Week 4. Until then, may your lineup decisions be sharp and your flexes pay off.